Hello, my name is Willeke Mulder and I'm currently a student from the degree Astronomy at the University of Groningen. And I would like to give you the answer to the question, if you assume that warm air rises, why is it colder the closer you get to the universe? Well, let's start with a small recap, because what exactly is the temperature? Well, by measuring a temperature, as physicists, we say that we actually measure kinetic energy. So this energy actually comes from tiny particles that are constantly moving through the air. And these particles are also known as atoms. So let's imagine if these atoms do not have any movement, then we basically reach a temperature of absolute zero. So let's go back to this definition of warm air. Because air is not directly heated up by the sun, but actually the sun does warm up the atmosphere or the surface of the earth, and then the heat of the soil is actually being transferred towards the air. So why does this warm air then rise up? Well, this is due to the differences in the pressure in different layers of the atmosphere of the earth. Basically, if we go up in the atmosphere, we have less pressure, which actually means that we have less particles that are actually present in, for example, a box of a meter by a meter by a meter. If we have less particles, we also have less movement. So we have less kinetic energy, so we have less warmth. On Earth, we have three ways of actually heating up the particles, which is conduction, convection, and radiation. If you put something in the sun, it will warm up, and then the air will pick it up from the thing that you put in the sun. However, if you look in space, space is basically a vacuum, which means that it contains very few particles. So it's basically empty. Since there are so few particles in space, the chance for particles to collide is actually basically none. So if you have no collisions, you have no conduction. This means that one of these ways to actually get heat is already gone. So then another way of transferring this heat in the atmosphere is convection. And convection is basically the spread of heat through liquids. But since space is empty, we also don't have liquids. So convection is also another thing in space. So basically, the answer to the question is that since there is no air in space, the only way to transfer heat in space is radiation, which is why it's way cooler in the universe than it's actually on Earth. So that's basically the reason why the universe is that cool.